very happy with it. It's something that we've literally taken 2 years to get to this point. We're the last club to comply with AFL rules and regulations, but we feel we've turned this into a positive, and we prefer to play with the red and black Guernsey every week, but the Clash Guernseys are now a part of the competition. We have to abide by the competition rules, and what we've done is we've respected our past, but at the same time looked to the future in an innovative way.
It's quite a sensitive issue among supporters, isn't it, that Guernsey? So we have to be pretty careful with it, I guess.
It is, and we respect that, and that's why we went through a 2-year process of and consulting a lot of people, and we think we've come out of it with a good compromise.
Is it really necessary, do you think, Dave?
Well, I think with the way the AFL is now and the competition now, that you've got a situation where media rights are, there's a lot of money being paid to the AFL, and the broadcasters are obviously wanting 2 distinguishable jumpers for their product that goes to their market, and so I can understand it, yeah.
Do you reckon it looks more like St Kilda's jumper than your other one does?
I don't think so, no.
Have you had good feedback so far from the fans?
It was always going to polarise people, and it clearly has in the first 24 hours. But I think as we explain it more, people understand this is something that we're turning into a positive and honouring our past and our heritage and tradition. I think people are understanding of what we're trying to do, and I think the last few hours in our polling, it seems like people are coming around to the process we've undertaken.
What sort of consultation did you do?
Well, we've spoken to a lot of key stakeholders of the football club, past players, former committeemen, former board members. We've obviously had, it's been a long time in the making, so we've had a lot of suggestions by fans over the last few years. So we've taken all that into consideration and come up with something that we think is going to be pretty good.
How's preparations going for the new venue training base?
It's going really well. We've been well and truly underway for the best part of the last couple of months. We're still on track to have the boys training there by November this year, which will be great. The building works have started as well, so we'd hope that the whole club is out there by this time next year.
Is funding an issue? Or?
Funding's going well. The fundraising is on target. Obviously, we had a setback when we didn't get a state government grant, but the feedback so far is that we're going to be over a 2 or 3 year period. We're hoping to deliver this debt-free by the end of 2015.
So you've been able to step up in the meantime?
We have. Yeah, it's been a good result the last couple of months. Yeah.
Jobe now?
Yeah.
Jobe, what do the players make of the new jumper?
Yeah, I think that the players understand that you need a Clash Guernsey, and whether you look at the team, Manchester United is still known as the Red Devils, or Big Blue is still New York Giants, but they have alternative strips. So you've got to sort of respect that and understand where the AFL are coming from. I think that the important thing is that we've been able to keep the red sash, which is synonymous with the Essendon Football Club.
Must be great for the players to play in a jumper that has all of those great players' names all over it.
Yeah, I think that the tradition that has been kept through the jumper, with Coleman obviously as a feature point, but also recognising the other premiership players, means that there's a fair bit of tradition and heritage in the jumper, so it's quite special.
Bit of motivation as well to get your own name on the jumper?
Yeah, I think so. Probably won't be looking at it in the middle of the game thinking I've put my name on the jumper, but I suppose that the players would like that when their careers are finished.
Can we talk about your form a little bit? You've become the outright Brownlow favourite in some markets. Do you feel any extra pressure? How are you feeling about your form?
No, I mean, it's quite funny. You sort of go to the footy and you sit in the crowd, and how many times does someone yell out, "What the hell are you thinking, umpire?" But people are quite happy to part with their money on guessing what umpires are thinking. So it's a little bit of a strange situation. So I think people are better off keeping their monies in their pockets. But I mean, the team's going well. I think we're starting. We hit a little bit of a form slump just before the break, but we're getting guys back into the group, and I just feel like if we continue to build, then we're going to put ourselves in a good situation by the end of the year.
Seems like you're really enjoying your footy this year as well.
Yeah, it's funny. You do so much hard work, then you want to. The results are that winning feeling that you get, and you just want to replicate it. And sort of that 10-15 minutes after a game is why you do all that effort. The weeks become pretty strict in what you can and can't do, but that feeling that you get after a game is why you play, and I think you just want to replicate that as much as you can.
Last year you slipped away a bit in the second half of the year. I guess this year, another year, obviously a pre-season under your belt's giving you that strength in the.
Yeah, we addressed. We thought that our consistency of performance was something that was not up to scratch last year, whether it was in games or just the season as a whole. So, over the pre-season, one of our main focuses was to be more consistent, and I think that's going to be the continual challenge for the group: is can we continue to back up as the games get harder and the pressure comes on? Can we continually find a way to play the same way?
Are you feeling confident that you can do that?
Yeah, I think that we've shown so far that the group's able to maintain that consistency. I think that the second half of the year is going to be a real challenge. I don't think you're ever confident, you're hopeful, but certainly the way that we trained, I think, gave us the best opportunity to do this.
I just want to ask one about the length of the pre-season training. I think you've spoken that it's possibly a bit too long.
Yep.
Can that realistically be shortened, do you think?
Well, I think it has. I would like for it to be looked at. Whether it's something like every club returns on December 1st or something like that. I just think that the way that the rules are changing, the AFL trying to implement these rule changes. I don't know whether I think it's been counteracted by the length and the stress that players' bodies are being put under a pre-season. And whether or not you can sort of have a compromise where every team comes back on the one day, but guys who are injured have the opportunity to use the facilities and the medical staff. But I think it's something that you would like to be looked at, and then that would mean that the changes that the AFL are trying to make are actually working and not being sort of sucked away by the length and the stress that players have been putting under a pre-season.
Obviously, some teams finish earlier than others. Some teams will have longer off. I guess that's one of the technicalities that we have to do.
Yeah, I suppose it is, but players are professionals now. I think that we'll probably get to a stage, as they have in other sports, where you're responsible for how you turn up and you're responsible for training yourself over the break. And I think with the draft being in late to mid-November, and you could sort of start the pre-season, everyone as a club together after the draft's done and the rookie draft, and then the whole group starts together on the 1st of December.
Do you find it sort of more of it's tougher mentally now at this stage of the year than as the years go on, because of the stress of training through pre-season and such a long campaign? Yeah,
I just think that players sort of finish a season and they think to themselves, I don't know if I can put myself through another pre-season. They love playing games and they're still able to contribute, and you don't want guys who are still great players to feel like just mentally I can't see myself getting through another pre-season because of the length of them.
Yeah, that's what's happened, hasn't it, to some champions of the game? It's the pre-season that does.
Yeah, and I think that our game is quite unique in that the length of the pre-season almost matches the length of the actual season, and I think that the stresses of the body will eventually give in.
You're not just doing holidays, are you?
There's probably a case of that, but no, I think that it's something that I think the AFL are quite aware of as well. I think that we spoke about it, and they're not so keen to have such a long pre-season. I think it would be good for the whole industry.
Is it realistic, though, to try and bring in something like that? I mean, would you approach, the AFLPA, or are there people talking to the AFLPA about this?
Well, I think that you want a discussion. Someone throws it up. I'm not sure if it's been happening or not, but I think just people discuss and see whether we can get to some sort of resolution. I don't know where it'll go. It's just my own personal opinion.
This may be a stupid question, but will it take some getting used to, the new jumper? Or do you need to do a bit of practice kicking around so you know what to look out for?
I think we've got a training session on Wednesday just to familiarise ourselves with it, but players are pretty good at adapting.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.